Hello, my name is Elisha Samantalo, number matrix BA 241104227. Today, I would like to present the introduction of our study, where the job market is becoming increasingly competitive and graduates are expected to possess not only academic qualification but also employability skills. Fields such as social science and marine science play such an important role in addressing environmental, social, and sustainability challenges. As industries continue to evolve, employers are looking for graduates who are knowledgeable, adaptable with both technical and soft skills. This study focuses on the skills, competencies, and qualities that employers expect from fresh graduates. It also examines the importance of English proficiency, workplace competencies, and employability skills in improving career opportunity in Malaysia. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kenny Robert Kundipao, number matrix BA 24110451. I'm going to present the next part, which is the objectives. For this report, we focus on 3 objectives. These objectives will be linked or achieved by the interview session held with the interviewee. The first objective is to identify the current hiring needs and skills required by employers in the marine research and museum management industry. The second objective is to understand employers' perspectives on graduates' employability, particularly the importance of technical skills, soft skills, and communication skills. The third objective is to examine the role of English proficiency and workplace skills in enhancing graduates' career opportunities in Malaysia.
So I will briefly explain the methodology used in our study. First, during the preparation stage, our group identified several companies related to the field of geology and also marine science. 4 companies were shortlisted based on their relevance to the course and their potential to provide valuable career-related information. So initially, the Sabah Tourism Board was selected as our primary choice. However, they were unable to schedule an interview and could only give us a written response instead. So therefore, we contacted our second choices, which is the UNS'S Aquarium and Marine Museum, which they agreed to participate in our study. So after obtaining their approval, we arranged a face-to-face interview as it allowed us to have more effective communication and also interaction. To meet the objective of this study, we prepared a semi-structured question that have 10 questions in it, 1 week before the interview. So the question then were divided into 5 sections, which contain question like company background, operation, English in the workplace, elevator photography, and also marine science. Also a career advice. Next, the interview was conducted face-to-face on the 3rd June with the senior curator, Ms. Flora N. The people questions served as our guide throughout the discussion, while follow-up questions were asked whenever further clarification was needed. Important information and responses were recorded through note-taking during the session. Finally, after the interview, all collected information was reviewed and organized according to the research objectives. The responses were analyzed to identify the key findings, career opportunity, industry requirements, and the application of geology and marine science knowledge in the workspace. So the findings were then summarized and incorporated into a report serving as the primary source of data for our study. So that's it for me.
We managed to narrow down to 6 questions that answered all of our objectives within the 12 questions in total of 6 categories given to the interviewee, Ms. Flora, to answer. This table summarizes the findings based on our 3 research objectives. For Objective 1, our aim was to identify the current hiring needs and skills required by employers in the marine research and museum management industry. This objective was addressed through question 5 and 6. Based on the interview with Ms. Flora Employers require a combination of both soft skills and technical skills. These are necessary when working with colleagues, researchers, visitors, and are highly valued. In terms of qualifications, the minimum requirement is SPM, mainly for operational and maintenance roles. Diploma holders and assistant science officers usually assist with laboratory and aquarium operations, while degree and PhD holders are more involved in research, consultation, and management responsibilities.
Hello guys, my name is Muhammad Azmi Ikwan bin Albert alias Robert. So today I'm going to continue what actually Kenny is presenting about, which is the second objective is to understand employees' perspective on graduate employability. So what is the questions that supports this objective? What is the questions that answers this objective? So the questions that answers this objective is question 5, question 11, and question 12. So what is these questions about? So when we look at question 5, it talks about what skills are important for working in marine research and museum management. And if we're looking at question 11, what advice would you give to university students who want to pursue or work in the marine industry? Moving on to question 12, what personal qualities should students develop to success in this industry? So basically saying that all of these questions is all about the industry itself. So what do we get from these questions? So according to Miss Flora, she talks about adaptability, motivation, and the desire to work, and all of this stuff. So along of these transcripts, we extract a few keywords based on her answer, which is first adaptability, motivation, interpersonal skills, and continuous learning. According to her, that she said that when you're working or as a senior curator, as an employer, you need to have a very good sense of adaptability. You need to adapt to the workspace very fast and have a high motivation on what you're doing. In this context is the marine science and geography major. And also interpersonal skills, the way you talk to people, the way you deal with other people. And of course continuous learning. It doesn't matter if you're on different level or different have a higher education, learning is always essential. Learning is always continuous, according to her. So what is the analysis? So the analysis is graduate employability is influenced by a combination of technical competence, soft skills, and willingness to learn. So if you are in the industry, you need to have a good technical competence, you need to have a good technical skills, and also a big willingness to learn something, to learn what you're supposed to do in the museum. So all of that. So moving on to the third objective is to examine the role of English proficiency and workplace skills. The questions that answers this objective is question 7 and question 8. So if we look at question 7, it talks about how do staff communicate with international researchers, tourists, or organizations. How important is the English language in this industry? So moving on to what Miss Flora said as an interviewee, the person who got interviewed by us, she said that English communication in the aquarium or museum of UMS is actually very, very important and very, very essential for everyone and among the staffs also. So English communication is used widely by the international researchers and the people that come in, because most of the people that goes there is foreigner, so they mostly converse in English. And how do they like improve the English language in the institution or the organization, mainly in AQUARIU UMS, is by having a course in PPIB. Some of the staff, she said that they are applying or running on a course in PPIB and taking English to improve their level of English and to communicate widely in English, of course, to support their working to support their workplace employability. So in terms of English communication and the use of English in the workplace itself, she said it is compulsory. Other than that, other than English, they also take some foreign language like Mandarin, another language, and it is also supported by PPIB itself. So everything is in English. The reference material is English, and the send of email is in English, and there's the way the researcher research their research, if that make any sense. The way the researchers do their research is using English language. So what is our analysis on this, or our summary? So English is essential for workplace communication, access to scientific knowledge, and interaction with international stakeholders. Speaking in the AQUARIU UMS museum and AQUARIU UMS perspective, it is very, very compulsory to have someone to advocate in English, to talk in English, because there will be a lot of people from outside, a lot of foreigner. So you need to know how to talk in English. Therefore, Miss Flora said you need to master English in order to work there. But it is okay if you're studying on a lower level, you're going to improve day by day, because they have a specific course in PPIB for staffs. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Azrin Natasha, and I'm going to explain the discussions part. Based on the interview, the senior curator, Miss Flora, mentioned that other than academic qualifications, employers also focus on students' skills and attitudes. Soft skills such as communication skills and teamwork skills are very important in the workplace. Other than that, she also mentioned about the importance of English proficiency in the workplace. English is commonly used in emails, research materials, reports, and communication with international researchers or tourists. Students must communicate in and apply their knowledge properly, because technical skills alone are not enough to secure jobs in the industry. Graduates also are expected to work professionally, interact confidently with others, and know how to adapt to workplace challenges. There are several recommendations can be suggested. Firstly, students must improve their communication skills and soft skills. For example, students can participate in presentations, become community members in university programs, or volunteer as facilitators during campus events. Second, universities should provide more opportunities for students to get practical exposure and soft skills training. For instance, students can apply for industrial training at research institutes such as Borneo Marine Research Institute, BMRI, aquariums, or environmental NGOs. Lastly, students should strengthen their English languages. For example, practice speaking English more often, read English articles, and participate in activities that encourage the use of English language.
For the conclusion, I would like to conclude that the interview with the senior curator of the Aquarium and Marine Museum UMS provided valuable insights into employers' expectation of fresh graduates. The findings show that employers value not only academic qualification but also soft skills such as communication, teamwork, adaptability, and professionalism. In addition, technical skills including laboratory work, field research, and marine collection management are highly important. Therefore, graduates should continuously improve their skills through internship, industrial training, and workshop to enhance their ability. Overall, graduates who possess both strong technical and soft skills are more likely to succeed in today's competitive job market. That's all from us. Thank you.